Well, it finally happened. After 4 years of driving for DoorDash, I got my first contract violation. So, did I screw up? Was it a scammy customer, or was it just one of those situations that was unavoidable? Before we continue the video, have a look at these two screenshots. One of them is the contract violation I recently received, while the other is from an order where I went above and beyond and the customer added to the tip. I'd like you to think about the customer experience and what could have been so drastically different between those two orders. What if I told you that both of those screenshots came from the same order? Would you believe me? Well, both screenshots were from the same order. So, how in the hell did I get a... Let me tell you, but first, I want to tell you how that shift started. I did the normal things that I do before I drive. I procrastinated, I checked my oil, I grabbed my phone and my charger, and then I set off. The area of town I live in doesn't have a whole bunch of restaurants, so I can't really wait at home, unfortunately. So, I made my way to my waiting place. The quickest way to get there is to take the freeway, and this specific freeway entrance has a bit of an incline. Are you seeing where this is going? I couldn't see the massive parking lot on the freeway until I was good and committed to getting on. By the time I realized that the freeway was at a complete standstill, there was nothing I could do about it. So, I sat there, and I sat, and I sat some more. In fact, it took me 30 minutes to make it one freeway exit, which is just about a mile away. On top of that, once I made that exit, it took me an additional 20 minutes past that to get off the freeway. Taking that exit had been my plan all along because I had accepted an Uber offer picking up off of that exit and dropping it off nearby. After getting the Uber dropped off, I accepted a DoorDash that was picking up off the same exit, and knowing how the freeway was, I figured I would just take the back roads. Here's what I didn't know. There were 2 wrecks on the freeway, going both directions. One of them involved a semi which had all 4 lanes blocked. Matter of fact, the freeway was closed for about 4 hours. To make matters worse, it was during rush hour. Alright, let's get back to the DoorDash order. I got it picked up and I messaged the customer that I was going to do some creative routing and explain what was going on the freeway. Told her I'm sorry if I'm 5-10 minutes late, but I'll be there as quick as I can. Being is that all of the freeway were blocked during rush hour, it forced all freeway traffic to take the surface roads during rush hour. Have you ever seen a convoy of semi-trucks going through a residential neighborhood? Neither had I, at least until that day. Matter of fact, just for shits and giggles, here's a Facebook post from my county's 911 dispatch center showing just how gridlocked the south end of my town was that day. A drive that should have taken me 10 minutes took me about 30. That is how I ended up with a contract violation. 4 years. 4 years on DoorDash, and that was my first contract violation. For those of you who are going to tell me to get over it and it'll go away on its own, I get that, and I freaking know. But let me ask you this. What would have happened had I kept driving that day? How many contract violations does it take to get deactivated? The correct answer is 3. Let me tell you, that day it would have been easy to get 3, back to back. This is a double-edged sword because the city was gridlocked. Customers aren't going to want to go out and pick up their own food, but drivers are going to get penalized for doing what we're supposed to do and the circumstances that are outside of our control. I want you to pause the video and let me know what you would have done if you were driving in my market that day. Would you have turned off the app and went home? Or would you have kept going and rolled the dice? Contract violations are ass backwards on DoorDash. Why is it always shoot first, ask questions later? Why is the driver always the one shafted? Why does DoorDash never tell the customer, we think you're lying? You can't tell me that a company as large as DoorDash, with the data that they have from hundreds of drivers, didn't recognize that dozens and dozens of drivers were all of a sudden late that day. Furthermore, I want you to think about the drivers who may not have as much knowledge or experience as you or I do. Had they kept driving, not only could they have gotten deactivated, but if they did get deactivated, DoorDash would have stolen their fucking money. All right. I don't think that contract violations should be doled out by a piece of code. I think that they should be investigated by an actual human being first. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. And while you're down there, press the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Now, for those of you who are wondering if I fought the violation, of course I did. Matter of fact, I got that violation on September 4th, and this video is being filmed on October 6th, and there is still no resolution. It's still sitting there. I want you to think about the drivers who kept driving that day and got themselves deactivated. You know what? No, they didn't even get themselves deactivated. They got unjustly deactivated and their money stolen. Not only were they unjustly deactivated and their money was stolen, but they also lost a source of income. Let this serve as a warning for you if your city is ever gridlocked, or there's some kind of inclement weather that's going to prevent you from delivering the orders in a timely manner. For times like those, just use a different app like I did. I turned DoorDash off and I focused exclusively on Uber. Now, I don't want to give the impression that I think contract violations should just go away or not be a thing at all. Let me know in the comments if you've ever accepted an order, driven to a restaurant, only to find out that another driver had stolen the order. I'm willing to bet that it's happened to all of us. Matter of fact, to the driver who did that in my market at Big Sticks Barbecue on September 27th, fuck you. The fact of the matter is, contract violations screw drivers all the time, and it can be near impossible to prove that we didn't do something that we didn't actually do that they accused us of doing. With that said, they do help weed out bad drivers like the Big Sticks Barbecue fuckface. I was really looking forward to that payday. Sure, that guy screwed me over as well as the customer, but if he keeps doing that, he won't be at it long. I guess ultimately what I'm trying to get at is I did not deserve this violation, and I have zero faith whatsoever that it's going to be taken care of for me. Now, I hate to state the obvious here. Going to anyway. Never approach a customer that you think was responsible for giving you a contract violation. That is a surefire way to get yourself deactivated. If you're pretty confident who caused a violation, jot down the customer's name and address if you remember that, and never deliver to them again. Before we wrap up this video, I want to talk about why this is my first violation in 4 years. To put it simply, I don't mess with customers that don't value my time. If they're not tipping reasonably, they don't value my time, and therefore they're not going to get any of it. Never do earn by time. That's where low or no tip orders go to get delivered. And those customers definitely don't respect your time. These are the people who feel entitled to our time, our gas, and the wear and tear on our vehicles. These are also the people who have no problem lying and claiming that they didn't get the order when they did. And my last 2 points. If I accept the order and I look at the delivery instructions only to find something unreasonable in there, I ditch it. Same thing is true if I accept an order and they immediately start blowing up my phone looking for extras. It's not worth it. Basically, if I get the slightest inkling that they have an entitlement attitude, I don't mess with them, and I don't think you should either. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you haven't done so yet, please do consider pressing the like button and subscribing to my channel. My name is Zach. Take care.